You want to change your finances. Good news. You don't need 10 years. You don't need a miracle, and you don't need to win the lottery. You can change your entire financial direction in just 3 months. 90 days. That's it. Now, I'm not saying you'll be a millionaire by then. But what I am saying is this: in 3 months, you can build the momentum that separates people who stay broke from people who build wealth. Let me show you how. The first thing you need to do is get brutally honest about your money. And I mean brutally. Every penny you spend, track it. Don't just think, oh, I roughly spend this much. No. Write it down, log it in an app, use a spreadsheet, whatever works. Because here's the truth: you cannot fix what you do not measure. A8. Most people think they know where their money is going until they actually track it and realize half of it is leaking out on nonsense they can't even remember buying. Once you have the data in front of you, you've already taken control. Now, once you know where the money's going, it's time to cut. But listen carefully. Don't just slash everything like a maniac. You won't stick to that. The key is cutting ruthlessly, but smartly. Ask yourself, 8, does this expense genuinely add value to my life, or am I paying out of habit? That gym membership you never used, that subscription you forgot you had, the constant takeout meals that taste the same every week, cut them. But if something genuinely makes your life better and you can afford it, keep it. 8, the point isn't to live like a monk. It's to stop wasting money on things that give you nothing back. In 3 months, you'll be shocked at how much cash you free up. But here's the part most people miss. You can't just cut your way to wealth. You've got to boost your income. And don't roll your eyes. In today's world, opportunities are everywhere. 3 months is plenty of time to pick up a side hustle, freelance online, flip items, or monetize a skill you already have. I've seen people go from zero to hundreds, even thousands of extra dollars a month just by using their evenings and weekends wisely. 8, the excuses people make. I don't have time. I don't know where to start. Those are the same excuses that keep them broke. You want financial change. Stop talking about your limits and start looking for your opportunities. Now, let's talk about debt. Debt is not just a bill, it's an anchor. 8, and the interest attached to it. That's the silent killer of wealth. In 3 months, you may not clear all your debt, but you can absolutely make a dent. Focus on the high interest ones first. Every extra dollar you saved from cutting waste, every extra dollar you earned from hustling, throw it at that debt like it's your enemy, because it is. The less you owe, the more you own. And trust me, once you see that balance start to shrink, you'll feel a sense of momentum that makes you want to keep going. Finally, and this is the most important part, 3 months is not about becoming rich. 8, it's about becoming disciplined. Money is just a reflection of your habits. If your habits are lazy, your bank account will be empty. If your habits are sharp, your bank account will grow. 90 days is long enough to build new habits. Tracking your spending, saying no to waste, hustling for income, paying down debt. Those habits, once built, carry you forward automatically. The momentum you create in those 3 months can change the rest of your financial life. So here's the challenge. Give yourself 90 days. No excuses, no shortcuts. Track, cut, hustle, attack, and build. Do it consistently, and by the end of 3 months, you won't just have more money in your account, you'll have control. And once you've got control, the path to wealth opens wide. 3 months is all it takes to start walking it. Cutting ruthlessly, but smart is one of the most powerful moves you can make if you want to change your financial life quickly, because the reality is that most people spend money on things they don't actually need or even value. The problem isn't that you're not earning enough. The problem is that your money is quietly leaking away into places you're not even noticing. The trick is to find those leaks and plug them to the 48 without stripping your life of the things that truly matter. If you try to cut everything, you'll burn out, you'll feel deprived, and you'll eventually give up. But if you cut strategically, you create space for growth while still enjoying the parts of life that give you joy. That balance is what makes the habit sustainable. The first step in cutting smart is looking at your spending and asking a hard question. Does this expense actually improve my life? It's uncomfortable because the truth is, most people spend out of habit, not intention. 8. That coffee shop stop every morning isn't about caffeine, it's about routine. That streaming service you forgot about isn't about entertainment, it's about laziness in cancelling what you don't use. That expensive phone upgrade isn't about functionality, it's about chasing the feeling of having the newest gadget. When you start questioning every expense, you realize how much of your spending is automatic and unnecessary. Cutting ruthlessly means drawing a line and saying, if it doesn't give me value, it doesn't deserve my money. But here's the smart part. Don't go cutting the things that actually matter to you. If the gym keeps you healthy, keep it. If a Friday meal with friends fills you with laughter and energy, keep it. If a book subscription keeps your mind sharp, keep it. The goal isn't to strip your life bare until you're miserable, because misery isn't sustainable. Smart cutting means prioritizing the things that genuinely bring joy, health, or growth, while eliminating the clutter that adds no real value. That way, the 48, you don't feel deprived, you feel empowered. You're not saying no to everything, you're saying yes to what actually matters. Think about this. Most people spend hundreds, sometimes thousands a year on things they don't even notice. Unused subscriptions, impulsive online orders, overpriced food deliveries, brand name products that do the same job as cheaper alternatives. When you tally it all up at 8, it's shocking how much of your hard-earned money is quietly vanishing into these traps. By cutting these out, you're not punishing yourself, you're buying freedom. Every dollar you stop wasting is a dollar that can go toward paying off debt, building savings, or investing in your future. Another key to cutting smart is shifting your mindset from, can I afford this? To, is this worth it? Affordability is a trap. Just because you can technically make the payment doesn't mean the purchase is wise. A lot of people can afford new clothes every month, the latest phone, or constant takeout. But the real question is, does it bring long-term value or just short-term satisfaction? If it's just a quick hit of pleasure that fades in a day, that's not worth the drain on your financial future. Smart cutting means thinking long-term, weighing the value of what you're buying against the bigger goals you have for your money. Cutting ruthlessly doesn't only apply to small, daily expenses. It also applies to the big ticket items. Maybe you don't need that brand new car with a loan attached, when a reliable used car could get the job done for thousands less. 48. Maybe you don't need to rent the apartment with the extra bedroom when you're living alone. Maybe you don't need to keep upgrading to the latest tech when your current setup works just fine. These big cuts feel harder because they touch on status, image, and comfort. But they're also the ones that free up the most money the fastest. And once you let go of the idea that you need these things to prove your worth, you realize how freeing it is to live below your means. The beauty of cutting ruthlessly but smart is that it builds confidence. Every time you eliminate an unnecessary expense, you prove to yourself that you're in control. You stop feeling like money is slipping through your fingers and start seeing it stack up. That confidence becomes addictive, and it's what fuels you to keep going. At the same time, because you've been smart about it, you're not suffering. You still have the things you care about, the things that make life enjoyable. But now they're balanced with financial discipline. That's how you create a lifestyle you can actually sustain. Tracking every penny like a hawk is the foundation of any financial transformation, because you cannot improve what you do not measure. Most people believe they have a rough idea of where their money is going, but the truth is usually very different. The mind plays tricks when it comes to spending. It tends to remember the big purchases and forget the small ones, and those small ones are often where the leaks really are. That daily coffee, the occasional snack, the random online impulse order, none of it seems significant on its own, but together they add up to hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars a year. If you want to take control of your finances, the first step is shining a light on every single dollar that leaves your pocket. The act of tracking isn't glamorous. The 48, and it doesn't give you the instant gratification that a new purchase might, but it gives you something far more or valuable: awareness. When you see the numbers in front of you, your excuses disappear. 48. You can't claim you don't spend much on eating out if the figures show that hundreds a month are disappearing into restaurants and delivery apps. You can't pretend you're careful with subscriptions if your statement lists 6 streaming services you hardly use. Awareness creates accountability, and accountability is where change begins. The method of tracking doesn't matter as much as the consistency. Some people prefer pen and paper, writing down every purchase by hand. Others like spreadsheets where they can see categories and totals add up automatically. 8. Many turn to apps that link directly to their bank accounts and credit cards. What matters is that you do it every single day. If you wait until the end of the month, the 48, you'll forget, you'll miss things, and the picture will be incomplete. But if you make it a daily habit, the numbers become part of your routine, and soon you start to feel the weight of every decision you make with your money. The reason this habit is so powerful is because it changes the way you think in real time. When you know you have to write down or log every purchase, you hesitate before making it. That hesitation is the space where discipline is built. You start asking yourself, do I really want this badly enough to see it in my budget later? Many times the answer is no. That moment of pause saves you from countless small, thoughtless expenses that quietly drain your resources. Over weeks and months, those small moments of hesitation add up to huge savings. Another benefit of tracking every penny is that it reveals patterns you would never have noticed otherwise. Maybe you think you don't shop much online, but your record shows multiple small orders every week. Maybe you assume your car isn't costing you much, but the fuel, maintenance, and insurance together are eating up a massive chunk of your income. Maybe you believe groceries are reasonable, but the receipts reveal a lot of waste on snacks, drinks, or overpriced convenience items. These patterns don't become clear until you force yourself to face the numbers. Once they're exposed, you can make intentional choices about what to change. Tracking also shows you progress, which is motivating. If you've cut back on eating out, you'll see the drop in that category and feel proud of the difference it makes. If you picked up a side hustle, you'll see the extra income clearly reflected in your totals. Numbers don't lie, and when you use them as a scoreboard, you can actually measure the improvement in your financial habits. That measurable progress keeps you engaged, reminding you that the effort is worth it. Finally, tracking every penny gives you clarity about your goals. Most people say they want to save, invest, or get out of debt, but those are vague wishes until you attach numbers to them. By seeing exactly where your money is going, you can decide exactly how much you can reallocate toward those goals. Instead of just hoping there will be money left at the end of the month, you'll know precisely how much can be directed toward building the future you want. 8. That shift from vague intention to concrete action is the difference between staying stuck and moving forward. Boosting your income with hustle, not excuses, is the game changer that separates those who struggle financially from those who take control of their future. Cutting expenses and tracking spending are powerful, but there's only so much you can save. At some point, you hit a ceiling. That's why increasing your income is where the real breakthrough happens. The problem is that too many people rely only on their main job and tell themselves stories about why they can't earn more. They say things like, I don't have time, or I don't have skills, or I don't know where to start. Those excuses are exactly what keep them stuck. The truth is that in today's world, opportunities are everywhere. And if you're serious about changing your finances in a short period of time, hustle has to become part of your lifestyle. Think about it, 3 months is not a long time. It's just 90 days. In that span, you could easily pick up a side hustle, build a freelance profile, or start flipping items for profit. Technology has lowered the barrier to entry in a way previous generations could never have imagined. You can drive for ride, sharing apps, deliver food, walk dogs, tutor students, edit videos, design logos, sell on marketplaces, and more, all with nothing but your phone and your willingness to work. The opportunities are not hiding, they are sitting in plain sight. The only question is whether you're willing to go after them instead of wasting evenings scrolling, streaming, and complaining. Hustle isn't about finding the perfect eye or waiting until you feel ready. Hustle is about action. You learn by doing, and every extra dollar you earn builds momentum. Maybe your first attempt only makes you a few dollars an hour, but that experience leads you to the next idea, which makes you more. Every skill you practice becomes more valuable over time. The problem with excuses is they keep you paralyzed, waiting for ideal conditions that never arrive. Hustle is the opposite. Hustle says, I'll start now, even if it's small, because small grows into big. Another important truth about boosting income is that it doesn't always mean working more hours. Sometimes it means working smarter. If you already have skills, writing, graphic design, coding, marketing, teaching, you can package them into freelance services that command much higher rates than a regular hourly job. Even if you don't think you have skills, chances are you know more than you realize. Maybe you're good at organizing, good with kids, handy with tools, or knowledgeable in a subject. There is always someone willing to pay for what you know or what you can do. The hustle is in finding that need and filling it. 3 months of consistent hustle can change your financial situation dramatically. Let's say you put in just 10 extra hours a week at a side hustle, earning 15 an hour. That's 150 a week, 600 a month, and 1,800 in 3 months. Add that to the money you're saving by cutting expenses, and suddenly you've created a cushion that can pay off debt, build an emergency fund, or be invested for growth. Now imagine if you pushed harder, upgraded your skills, and started charging more. That small side hustle can quickly grow into a serious second income stream. The mindset shift is just as important as the money itself. When you hustle, you stop feeling like a victim of your circumstances. You stop saying, I can't afford it, and start saying, how can I afford it? That question flips your brain into problem-solving mode. Excuses shut down possibilities, but hustle opens them up. The confidence that comes from creating your own income changes how you see yourself. You start to believe that no matter what happens, you have the power to earn, to adapt, and to build. That belief is priceless because it means you will never be stuck again. In the end, hustling is not about grinding yourself into exhaustion or chasing every opportunity you see. It's about being intentional with your time and energy, choosing 1 or 2 solid paths and committing to them with consistency. 90 days is more than enough to see results if you treat it seriously. Excuses will leave you in the exact same place you are today, but hustle will move you forward 1 extra dollar, 1 extra skill, 1 extra opportunity at a time. Attacking debt like its enemy is the mindset shift that can completely change your financial future. Because debt is not just a number on a statement, it is a weight that drags down every part of your life. It steals your peace of mind, limits your choices, and silently eats away at your wealth through interest. Too many people treat debt like a minor inconvenience, something they'll deal with later. That attitude is exactly why they stay trapped. To break free, you have to start seeing debt for what it really is, an opponent a rival that is actively working against you. And just like any enemy, you don't negotiate with it. You don't ignore it. You don't make friends with it. You attack it with everything you've got until it's gone. The first step is recognizing the danger of interest. Debt is not static. It doesn't just sit there politely waiting for you to pay it off. It grows. Credit card companies and lenders design it this way, stacking interest rates so that if you only make minimum payments, your balance hardly moves. That small loan or balance that looks manageable today can balloon into a nightmare over months and years. Treating debt casually is like ignoring a fire in the corner of your house. It may look small now, but left alone, it spreads and consumes everything. Attacking debt means putting it at the top of your priority list, above luxuries, above upgrades, above anything that can wait. One of the most powerful tactics is focusing on the high interest debt first. This is the enemy that hurts you the most, the one draining your money faster than you can earn it. Every extra dollar you put toward it is a dollar that stops bleeding away into the lender's pocket. At the same time, paying down any debt, big or small, gives you psychological momentum. Knocking out a smaller balance completely creates a sense of victory, proof that you can win this battle. That's why some people start with the smallest debts first. They need those early wins to stay motivated. 8. The strategy you choose matters less than the commitment you bring. What matters is that you're not passive anymore, you're actively fighting. Attacking debt also requires sacrifice because the truth is you can't have it both ways. You can't pay down debt aggressively while still living like nothing's wrong. That means cutting out unnecessary spending, delaying gratification, and funneling every spare dollar into your attack. It might sting at first to give up some luxuries, but that temporary discomfort is nothing compared to the long-term pain of staying in debt for years. When you look at every purchase through the lens of, would I rather have this now or be debt-free sooner? The answer becomes obvious. Freedom is worth more than a night out or another gadget. The mental shift is just as important as the financial one. When you treat debt like an enemy, your entire mindset toward money changes. You stop seeing payments as chores and start seeing them as strikes against your opponent. Every extra payment is a punch. Every balance you knock down is a victory. 8. Every account you close is another battle won. This mental framing keeps you fired up when the process feels slow. 8. Because you understand you're not just moving numbers around, you're reclaiming your freedom one payment at a time. The beauty of attacking debt is that it creates momentum in every other area of your finances. As your balances shrink, your confidence grows. As you pay off accounts, you free up cash flow that can be redirected towards saving, investing, or building wealth. The same discipline you build while fighting debt will carry over into how you handle money in the future. Once you've fought this enemy and won, you'll never want to fall into its trap again. You'll recognize the warning signs, avoid unnecessary borrowing, and live with a new sense of control. 8. Debt may feel overwhelming, but the truth is you have the power to beat it if you're willing to fight. Stop treating it like background noise and start treating it like the enemy it is. Attack it with focus, with sacrifice, and with relentless determination. The day you become debt-free is the day you finally take back control of your life. And that day comes a lot sooner when you decide to go on the offensive.